This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we talk about a couple of questions from some listeners and what I posted about this week. Do people actually work hard at their nutrition and their training? Three, two, one. The world does need average people as well, Dan.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dan Meek.
And me, Tom Hall.
It does. Tom's just read my t-shirt. Ben Bruno t-shirt. The famous Ben Bruno t-shirt. You don't have to train today. The world needs mediocre people too.
Yeah,
so there you go. It's the Ben Bruno message. I like these t-shirts. They're actually quite comfy, and everyone always stops and reads them, which is quite funny. I find that weird in the gym. People just go, "Oh," like that. It's like, yeah, just I didn't say it. Someone else said it. I'm just wearing a t-shirt. Calm down. Don't have a go at me. So yeah, there you go. But mate, well, you took inspiration from the t-shirt for your post this week. So there we go. Something we're going to talk about a bit later. So
yeah, for sure. Triggered.
There you go.
I told Mike I was triggered by your poor golf performance. So that's what it was about.
Well, then you're going to be triggered forever, aren't you? Because
no, we later learned we are actually playing quite a hard course. So yeah, unfortunately for Dan.
That's why I was so bad. Yeah.
I don't think it was.
No other reason.
I think it was. You were like, it's quite tight and it's quite like up and downy and all this. I was like, yeah, the rough is not forgiven at all.
Oh, it was like it wasn't forgiving doesn't even come into it. It was just like, yeah, just fucking up my knees, and I'm like, what? It's like, this isn't fair. Not what I'm used to.
It was really wispy as well. Yeah, to be fair, so it was good. I quite like that course, to be fair, but I think I would say that because I played all right. So yeah, lovely, mate.
Yeah, you would enjoy it, mate. Your score.
It was lovely. It was a good day out. Went and saw Reading, didn't we?
Lovely weather as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, good all around, I'd say. There, to be fair.
Yeah, that changes what I normally do. If it's hot in the UK, I normally open with "It's hot, Dan," isn't it? Like, geez, It's hot, mate.
It is hot, innit? It's hot.
This will come out and everybody will know it's been hot the last 3 days, and it's September. Jesus, we were talking about it, weren't we? We were like, seasons have definitely shifted. Like when we were young, I think we're still young, but when we were younger, definitely like September started to get a bit chilly. I would have thought like September, not chilly, but yeah, it's like back to school time. Everyone's back to school now, aren't they?
Yeah.
How's Isabel's first day back?
Second day back. Yeah, she's all good. She's enjoying it. She got lost today, and she just had cried about it today in the evening.
I mean, I don't blame her. But
I mean, yeah. That's it. If
I
got lost at school, I think I'd have cried.
I have a little cry. If I get lost. So yeah, nothing wrong with that.
There you go. So, yep, no, we're all good. Of course, and then I'm off to Dubai on Monday. So,
correct. Yeah. Are we doing a podcast from Dubai? Is that happening, or I'll leave it up to you, mate. Like, to be fair,
I don't think you'll be available because it's like 3 hours ahead, isn't it? So it'd be like 5 o'clock to start. So
5 o'clock for me to start. We'll see what we can do. It's tough. It's a tough time. I didn't get in until 6. Out 6 till 6.
You're a busy man now. I see you've got a real job now, so you're a busy man.
I was actually in third. I was third space all day today. No PTC work. It's crazy. Just mixing between companies. That was interesting to do Canary Wharf because the joys of Canary Wharf. I hate going to Canary Wharf. Too far away. I have to take the tube too far. And then
has it got much busier? Obviously, with COVID and stuff like that. Is it back to...
Well, actually, yesterday was the first day that it has been the highest amount of commuters into London.
I did see that in the news. Yeah,
since pre-COVID. I've obviously seen Canary Wharf at its busiest. It's still down on that, man. Like, great, and also, but you got to think I'm going for a 3 o'clock meeting. I'm not going rush hour. And I purposely always used to, but as against the grain, I used to purposely stay there till about 6:30 and not go even if my meeting had ended at about 5 because the trains were absolutely awful. But yeah, just hopped on a train straight away, 4:30. So it was all right.
There you go. All back to normal.
Right, all back to normal. I had a conversation with one of my clients about the. He was saying there was a little bit of a disagreement in his with his wife about wearing a mask, and I think you brought it up the other day, about a few months ago, when you obviously you don't have to wear one, and there was a person at school who was like, "Oh, you don't have to wear one." Point out to you, you're like, "Don't have to do anything. Like it's absolutely fine, but I'm going to wear one." And he's had a disagreement saying he wants his son to like still be tested, and he wants to do the right thing and like wear a mask and stuff, but she doesn't. She's like, no, child doesn't have to be tested now, so we won't test him at all. And no, I'm not going to wear a mask because I don't have to wear one at all. And it's like, all right, well, I don't have to punch people. Like, I don't punch people in the face. I could, but I don't do that. So I guess it's a bit of a straw man argument.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where like I was the first week we were like allowed, I was still wearing one. And I think as the weeks have gone on, I've just got less and less diligent with it. But like if obviously I'm going to have to wear it on the plane, right? But if I was on a train, I would be doing it on something like that, an enclosed space. Like I think we were at the golf, we didn't really in and out of like, but there's no one else around. Like it wasn't really like an enclosed space.
That's the thing, isn't it? I'm the same as you. I still wear one like going into Waitrose in like I'm in the supermarket for a while because I knew from the stats that that's probably the biggest place to contract, isn't it? It's like supermarkets were the highest. And I was just like, yeah, people breathing all over your food. I actually quite like the fact that all of the shop people and all the food people have to wear them now, because I always got a bit weirded out about people breathing on the food that they were about to give me, and I'm like, I don't want you to breathe all over my food, really. It's a little bit strange, and I'm like, I'm quite glad that has to happen. So always like, because like dinner ladies sometimes used to have to wear them anyway, didn't they, like hairnets and a little mask and stuff like that. So I was like, it's no different really to the person that's in prep, like sticking their fingers all over my straw, and I'm like, give me a straw that you vaguely don't touch, please. Yeah, it's strange. But yeah, I'm still pro in certain so like it's just like tight spaces, but just use your brain, like, and don't point it out to the people who are wearing them, saying you don't have to wear them. If you're one of those people, they know.
Yeah, we know.
We all know. You know, you don't have to wear that anymore. Thanks. I don't have to wear trousers, but I'm going to. It's the morally right thing to do.
For everyone's sake.
Yeah, like no one wants to see that like tiny little thing. So absolutely not. Very strange moral start to the podcast, mate. Lovely.
Always the way with you, isn't it? Hey, so morally on point.
All right. And we've obviously got some protein bars because I did make my order. And Protein Pick a Mix, we still should be sponsored by you, because we're fueling a bit of money into them now, aren't we? Like,
I'd have thought so.
Protein Pick a Mix, where me and Dan get our protein bars when we're not from Protein Pantry. Update
on the Protein Pantry ones, by the way, started to give me really bad gas. Like I can't eat them anymore.
Really?
I don't know what it is that I've noticed. That I've had them a few recently because one of my clients gave me some. And each time it's been the one thing that I'm like, that's what it is. It's like every time, if I have a different protein bar, like I had the Misfits ones, fine, plant-based, isn't it? Vegan, so good for you. It's that fiber. I just can't deal with that fiber, that oligo, or whatever it's called. I can't handle it, and it's really annoying because obviously the cherry bakewell ones are just incredible. And they're, by the way, as I speak now, Tom, just let you know, pretty much all of the best ones are in stock.
They? Oh, we might have a during podcast ordering.
Yeah. So cherry bakewells are right there, birthday cake right there, chocolate brookie right there. But yeah, I can't do it to myself now. I was like, it was worse, to be fair, after the Caramazon, and I think that had a bit more of it in. I think the cherry bakewells have a little bit less, but I was like, I still can't do it. I just can't do it. You're looking at per portion 16 grams of fiber. It's all that stuff, but never mind. So
still don't understand why they have like exclusive deals with this Supplement Stop and Serious Nutrition for their white mocha chocolate, Biscoffee crumble, raspberry ripple, and rumble raisin, and then for the other one is peanut butter s'mores, caramel almond, and Serious Cinnabon. No, I mean, they all sound great. I might go to these shops as well. I've not had
Okay.
the Biscotti crumble one. Did you have it?
I haven't. No.
Brilliant.
But right now,
Click-
Tom, I've got
Click on the link. Sold out. Of course it is.
brilliant. Of course, yeah. I have got an awesome supplements protein bar here. Peanut caramel crunch.
Whoa. Just a minute. That's not from the Lego
It
guy.
is. It is.
Is it?
Mhm.
Mr. Ben, I think
Ben
my
Coombers
hamstrings
company.
are stopping me from squatting too low and burning lots of calories. Kumba.
Yes, that one.
Is it?
Yeah. Because
Wow.
I've heard that it's great. Like, again, one of my clients gets their plant-based protein powder, said it's like vegan protein powder, said it's incredible. And I was like, well, I've got to try it. Do you know?
Yeah, I know. You're like, I don't want to put money in that guy's
I
pocket.
didn't really want to, but I kind of felt like I had to because I've heard good things about their vegan range. So, I mean, it smells.
I have
peanutty.
as well, yeah. Unfortunately.
It
He's
smells
got to be
peanutty.
good. Let's face it. He's got to be good at something. So,
255 calories. 255 calories and 19 grams of protein. So not great on that side of things. 13 grams of fat, always going to be higher in it. But high in fiber, 8 grams of fiber. I mean, see if this sets me off this one. Fuck's sake. Hang on. Let me see what it is in there. Chicory root. It's all right. It's chicory root. It's not the... I can't even pronounce whatever that one's called. I'll find it out.
I mean, that's going to be really good because there's this bar as well. I picked it when we were going through the bars. I picked it based off I couldn't pronounce this as well. I was like, I don't know what that word is. But I've got a Wana, Joanna, that bar, wafer and cream, cocoa with Giandua flavor cream. Do you know what that is?
No.
Gianduja. Giandua.
No idea.
I have no idea what that is. I would like to know. So, and I'm going to say that you're all an intelligent bunch that listens to this show, but
well,
that is not
that
is not in my in like something I know. I don't know. There's a lot of it. M&S will do it. Giandua and hazelnut. Some sort of hazelnut. Sweet chocolate spread containing 30% hazelnut paste. Oh, is Giandua the same as Nutella? So it's a denser Nutella.
There you go.
Lovely. This sounds like it's going to be great. Waffles and Giandua, which might be my new favorite thing. So a Wana bar. So I think they've got like cream and stuff in it. The macros, I don't know what they're.
This was annoyingly good.
Oh, really?
It tastes all right. I think, I'm actually converted to vegan protein bars. They are much nicer to eat. Like, they're much nicer to eat. Right.
We got
the texture.
So the macros on this 196.5 calories. Get that 0.5 calorie.
So I'm ordering a box of Misfits, by the way, because I quite like
fat 12, carbohydrates 14, fiber 1.4.
I think if you sold that to someone, they would never know it was plant-based.
You're awesome. Everything is awesome supplements.
Yeah.
Everything is awesome. Has he managed to get the Lego theme?
I think so.
So I'm quite excited about this because look at what it looks like bar wise. It's like little
annoyingly impressed. Oh yeah, that's like a bit like a yeah.
So
well, let's see.
Oh,
while Tom's chewing on that. Oh, his face is lit up. Oh, he's all over it. Look, there is a whole world of protein bars out there, guys. Don't just stick to Grenade. Don't just stick to PhD Smart Bar. Get out there. Try these protein bars. Face.
Oh my. So yeah, that is the exact same texture. Maybe like I said, it's denser than Nutella. But imagine a Kinder Bueno that has Nutella in it.
Oh, what?
Yep.
All right. All right.
but instead of the Nutella, it's just a little bit denser, and it's obviously got the protein bit in it. It's literally the same wafer. I think it is the waffly wafer.
Hazelnut Ganduja, whatever that's called.
Ganduja, yeah. I've got the cocoa with, and I bought the other one. I only bought 2 because I was like, I don't know, I don't want to overload myself on a load of them because they could be terrible. They're good, but the protein, it's 190 odd calories, but the protein is like 13 grams, which is actually okay, but it's not great.
It's not the end of the world. I mean, it's better than the ones I bought. I bought some wafery ones, thinking I was doing really well. 0 protein, and they're just basically sweets, but vegan sweets. Like it's a vegan Kinder Bueno, I think. In fact, I'll try it now because I know it's not a protein bar. Let me get it out. Hang on. Oh yeah. Love Bar, it's called. Love Raw.
Hey,
Love
I'm
Raw.
Be
cream
a bit silent
wafer.
now because
Tom's gonna eat that cream wafer bar. It's essentially a vegan version of a Kinder Bueno, because I was like, I wonder how much protein's in it, and then I went to look at the packaging, and it was like, 0.7 grams per stick. Great. Okay. It's basically vegan chocolate that tastes like chocolate is what they're calling themselves. I mean, I'll be the judge of that. So yeah, it comes as obviously as a Kinder kind of does, the finger size. So I'm only going to open one of them just because it's easier, and we'll see if it's any good.
I enjoy the packaging on this. You know how I love the word functional. It said functional sweets on the packaging.
Well, this one is salted caramel, but it tastes a bit like coffee, but it's nice. But it is essentially just a Kinder Bueno bar in calories. So, but let it be said that I feel as if the confectionery world will turn upside down and everything has to be vegan. At least we'd be okay for snacks. So that's brilliant. That's really nice. If you hadn't told me that was vegan and gave it to me, I'd be really impressed. So I have to be impressed. I don't have a vendetta against vegans, by the way.
Yeah,
really nice.
We definitely don't. Well, I'm intrigued by these Warner bars. Definitely get something.
There we go, guys.
I'm gonna order some more, and I want to see the other one.
That's saying something for you with protein bars. You're not usually a huge fan of protein bars.
I'm not. No, like I don't order them a lot, and I just generally go off them a little bit after like using them more. Yeah, so this one's. I got another one which is chocolate with salty caramel flavor inside as well. That'll be interesting. Maybe I'll have that.
I'm trying to work out what this Love Raw is made of. I mean, it's basically just sugar, because that's not, So they use coconut oil, obviously, instead of butter. Yeah, I mean, as annoying as it is, they actually taste really, really good, like normal chocolate bars. You'd never know you're not eating a chocolate bar, in my opinion. Or, Tom, they do a Wanna white chocolate and strawberry cream.
I think there's a fair few flavors there, so I think we try and work our way through those. So I'll put in a little Wanna bar.
Gosh, there are some
Italian flavor things, aren't they?
Salted caramel cocoa hazelnut cream out of stock.
That's the one I've got, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, the awesome protein bar was good as well. It's annoying.
That's annoying. No. Wow, there you go. It's not often when we try 2, there's 2 decent bars. So congrats.
Get a clean sweep, do you know?
We'll stop there because we're not going to go for a quest bar.
No, it's not ruining
it. We were like, no, don't do that. Yeah, still love that. One of my PTs were like, yeah, the best way to eat them is to put it in the oven. I was like, what? It's meant to be a quick snack. You don't need to go home and put it in the oven. It's not a good trait for a bar. It's insane.
Not at all.
No.
I think I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on a big limb. I'm going to say that the year 2022 is going to be the year of the vegan protein powder, bar, everything. It's going to work, and they're getting there now. Do you know? Like I feel like Misfits is like the grenade of the vegan plant-based stuff, and I think that brands are really going to start going after that technology, and they're going to next year is going to be it's going to be game over because the texture is loads nicer to eat. They are. So there you go.
I'll ask the the big wigs at My Protein.
Honestly, like they should be listening to this as market research for this protein bars. Genuinely,
it's interesting as well because they were saying, like My Protein have such a big market share in like protein powders and protein bars and stuff like that. They literally, whatever they do, the whole market kind of follows. So it'd be interesting to see what happens as well. But they could break away. If I charge it, but there's still that stigma, isn't there, in the fitness industry about vegan protein bars? Need to get over.
Well, yeah, and I'll be honest, I would have tried it. I was like, oh god, like, you know, the last ones I've tried, they just taste like mud. Like I think the last one I tried was the PhD one. Oh my fucking god, like just tasted like earth. I'm like, no, not going near them. Thank you very much.
That's the danger.
These ones taste like chocolate bars now. So
I bought a Misfits bar with the Biscoff one that Dan had last week. So just because I was like, I feel left out because I didn't get to try. Right, we just got a couple of questions we've got to hit before Dan lays into my post. Not lays into it, agrees with it, hopefully. All right, there was a couple of questions that I plucked from, which Dan will be able to help me with. Basically, I thought you would be the better one to answer that. I'll answer the rest of them just on I was about to say Facebook then. I'll answer on Facebook, probably Instagram. Do it where it's asked. Question. So tips for coaching someone online with the brackets form, etc. I'm assuming this is just like distant, like online coaching, not Zoom online coaching.
Yeah,
one would assume. So Daniel, tips for coaching somebody online who you may suspect have shit form, or how would you go about it?
You have to ask them for videos, obviously, of said movements. That's the one way you can do it. And I think we've touched this previously, whereby, in my opinion, as an online coach, you can't rush through your continuum of exercises quite like you could have as a one-to-one PT, because you have to enable, or you have to allow for more hiccups, more mistakes, more learning time with less cues and all that sort of stuff. So my programming is always very conservative. It's very rare that I would ever have a client start on back squats, for example, in their first training cycle with me, even if they ask for it, usually, and they'd have to show me that form first before I would put it in happily. You can go through a full assessment. Again, I've done that with a few clients who really wanted to hone in on their training, and like literally wanted to start with me on muscle gain. I was like, okay, cool, I need to see these movements. Listed them all out, told them how to video them. Just basic movement screens like hip hinges, single leg hip hinges, bodyweight squats, goblet squats, nothing too crazy, from all different angles as well. And then after that, it really is just a case of getting into video anything they're not sure of or unsure of. And then I would look at that and speak to them about any exercise that they've stalled on, they've not really moved any weight, or they've not progressed on, or they're feeling particularly weak on. I'll get a video of it and I'll say, look, send it over to me. So I can have a look at it and see if there's any form breakdown, anything to pick up on. I did it the other day with someone who was doing bench press. He filmed it, and I was like, straight away, 2 things I would change instantly. And I go work on those 2 things, film it again in 4 weeks, show me that you've improved. And he was a PT, and it's little things that you pick up on, like his feet weren't tucked under very far. He wasn't really giving much force through his legs. He was just kind of letting them move around, and his hands were too close together. So at the bottom of the movement, his wrist there was no 90-degree angle at his elbow. It was like his wrist was like in a bit here. And I was like, okay, you're trying to push. It's not as useful from a force production point of view. So
it's literally so funny because literally that little tip about using your core and your legs, I literally have a reel saved in my drafts about pressing about that. That's about to go up.
Yeah, people put their feet flat, and they should really tuck them right under and get quite tight in there and push into the floor and keep their glutes on the bench and everything. But people forget that with bench press, it's a full body movement. It's not just push with your arms. And again, like with that, even hand position, like it should be that at the bottom, it should be that you're in a position where your wrists are stacked and you can press. Not in here, where the force from pushed up from here is going to go here into, you can't see it's on video. That's not a video, but it's all those different things where you can pick up on little tiny things that you wouldn't do if you hadn't seen a video, and they just said, oh, why am I stuck here? And I'm like, well, there's 2 reasons why I think you're stuck with not being able to move weight on your bench press. So yeah, you have to ask for it. And I would always take it one movement at a time, or one upper, one lower movement at a time. Don't confuse people. Don't try and do every single exercise every single week. Just focus on the main ones they're struggling with, or the ones that you think are maybe the ones that are as the riskier movements, let's say. Get them to video them.
Yeah. Yeah. Do the same.
And tell them how you want them videoed as well. Don't just say video them. What angle? Side, front,
what angle?
back.
Yeah, correct. Which is a big thing, which obviously you learn on the PT core is like what angle to best look at certain things. I talk about coaching from 90-degree angles. If you're ever like, oh, I don't know what, like, there are 4 90-degree angles around the person, go coach at 90-degree angles. That is the best way of looking at something. It's quite simple, and have your starting point from front and then go all the way around. And try and mimic that with a camera if they can. If the person has a friend, chances are they might. They can ask them to video it for them, so they don't have to they literally can walk around if they want to. But people get a little bit funny about that kind of stuff, I guess. So ask them if they're that serious into online coaching. They probably will need to film their stuff. So maybe they can buy a little tripod to hold their phone, just maybe, instead of propping it up. It's quite vital, I think, to just to make sure it's fine. I think people get embarrassed, don't they? But it's nothing to be embarrassed about at all.
Yeah, look, I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's if you want to get better, you just got. You think, oh, I don't want to be that guy in the gym who films himself, and it's yeah, but they're doing it for Instagram. You're doing it for your coach.
Yeah. It's also no one cares. Trust me. They'd be oh, no, I don't remember that guy that filmed themselves crazy. Don't care. Loads of people film themselves in gyms. I think Instagram's full of it. So it's fun. Yeah, I just ask for form videos. That's literally it. And then of a particular movement. There's nothing crazy, I don't think, about it. I don't think there's any magic you can sprinkle. And it's just you have to be quite clear because you can't be there to correct it straight away. So the chances are you have to do a form video correcting the thing that they're doing. So I've done it before where I mimic what they do and then purposely over exaggerate it and then go into what I want to happen. So they know, for example, a big one for me was half kneeling positions and a leg, the back leg drifting back behind someone, and where I want it square pointing forward, stuff like that. And maybe then the other legs starting to move in certain chops or overhead presses and stuff like that. And I'll be all right, I'll over exaggerate it. What do you think's wrong here? All right, probably that foot, right? And you move it back in. So it might be that, showing them what's wrong, showing them what's right from your perspective. So just get ready to do that. Realize it's a bit time consuming, but if you change it now, you won't have to change it again, the chances are. So they've got that in the bank forever. Yeah. You can be refer to that video. Look what I told you. Why are you doing that again? So yeah, I'll do that. And if it's on Zoom, then just get them to move their camera around. I'm assuming it's not. All right.
We're going to assume it's really not.
And then the other question was, this actually was from last night's live on PT Core, because I thought it was interesting. Because I kind of had a different, I think I resonate with you, Dan, on I want not my clients fit around me, but it's kind of what happens. If they want to work with me and continue to work with me, therefore this is my time and what happens, and hopefully they adhere to that. Otherwise, they're probably not for me. And I think that's 1000% a confidence thing. I think from where we're at in our careers and what we know we're good at and how we do things. But the question was what to do if my clients continually miss check-ins. So this was a weird one as well. So what we did do is, this wasn't directly from anybody. It was on the PT Core, but that apparently the girl is on the PT Core now. So she's going to learn. She just signed up for the next intake. But it was an interesting one, obviously, because we'd be all right, well, what's happening during the consultation? Are you explaining that the check-ins are valuable and all that kind of stuff? What is the check-in process? For example, a check-in, they should not ever have to send anything to you. They should never send anything. That's literally a whole barrier to something to happen. They should only have to click a link or click on something. So Dan does it. You sign in to see you, right? So you book a time. So, but you don't send them like they don't have to get a form and then email it to you or anything like that. That's insane. Yeah. So if anything, if you just want them to do a little form check-in, it's going to be Google Forms. The chances are you're going to ping them on an email, so they just have to click it and fill it out, press, and so they don't have to attach it to anything. Or Dropbox. Like I used to have mine through Dropbox, and you just fill out a new sheet each time, sometimes. And then my check-ins were generally, it was like, all right, yeah, is they still like getting results? Then chances are they probably don't need to check in. If they're not that personality that needs one, then I'm quite happy just to give them like voice notes and video notes or anything else. But you're quite I don't know, dogmatic with your check-ins, aren't you?
Yeah, I just think there's a few things to think about. First one is if they're continually missing check-ins for no real good reason, they're just a bit busy or they're just a bit whatever. It's probably just that for them, it's just not, you're not charging enough. It's just a bit of it doesn't hurt them enough to bother. Like I know for a fact, people that I pay money to, if I'm paying a monthly amount and it's for this amount of stuff, you're damn right I'm getting it in, because it's a waste of money otherwise. Some people don't have that. Like part of the accountability aspect is you're paying money, so you're just kind of like, it should hurt you, so you're kind of, well, I'll do it. So that's one thing to consider. Second thing is, I used to be of the opinion, I still am kind of, that it's up to the client to check in. I'm like, it's up to the client to check in with me. Like, I'm not hassling you, I'm not chasing you, all that sort of stuff. But the more I think about it, the more I go, more recently I've moved towards, yeah, but they need my help. Like, that's why they're fucking shit up to this point, is because they can't do it on their own. So if a client's late with their check-in, I'll drop them a text. I'll see how they go. 1 week, if 1 week passes and I've spoken to them the previous week and everything's going well, I'm not going to be like concerned. If it got to the second week, I'm then like, okay, cool. I'm checking in with them. I'm like, right, where's your update? How are things going? I'll just give them a little nudge. Oh, sorry, I've been really busy with work. So, sorry, I missed this week. I'll make sure next week I'm on the board. I'm like, yeah, make sure you are. It's fine. It's not a problem. So there's that element to it where I think that you have to remember that the reason that people drop the ball with this stuff is because they're left to their own devices. So if you leave them to their own devices, they will do. And I flipped and flopped with that over the years. And I think I've settled on now setting it out from the outset where I go, look, your check-in day is this day. You need to get this stuff to me by this time on this day, and I get back to you on the day after. And again, the onboarding process is the bit that helps with that. So it's rare that I don't get clients check in, and I do have the same each week. I have similar culprits, like the same sorts of people every time. And they're just, again, I know they're the type of people who I need to just give them a text and a little nudge and go, right, come on. There are some people like clockwork every single week that are there. And that's just different people. It's just how much it means to different people. It's how much they prioritize it, but it doesn't mean it's not a priority. It just means that in their priority list, it's not at the top. It doesn't mean that they don't want to take it seriously, or they don't care about you, or they don't think you're good or anything like that. It's just that some people have other priorities that you wouldn't know about. They would never complain about them or anything like that. And they need you to support them. So it's just about understanding each client. So I used to be of the opinion that every client should do it all the same way. But as I've got older as a coach, I'm like, well, no, everyone's different. So why should they all check in the same way? Some people don't need a reminder. Some people need 2 reminders. It doesn't mean that they want it any less. It's just that's just the way they are at this point in time. So that's how things have changed for me over time, is that they're paying you to check in with them. As much as they're paying you for the ability to check in with you, they're paying for your accountability to a certain degree. And as you get fuller and as you get busier, you might be like, oh, I don't have as much time to do this. But how long does it take to send one text? 30 seconds? Yeah. So it's not, I get that you can text them to say, hey, look, your check-in wasn't in on time. I don't have time to reply to your check-in now, but this is just a reminder to say, look, you need to get your check-ins in on time. What can I do to help you do that? That's a check-in. That's you getting back to them. That's you being there for them. That's you reminding them that, every week you should have check-in. It just depends on how strict you want to be. And like I said, I think if you set out those boundaries from the outset on the onboarding process, you'll be fine. But every client of mine, when they send their check-in late, they say, oh, I'm really sorry this is late. They know because they know when they should have been in, what should have happened. So I think any situation like that, I'll always look at myself. What can I do? Is it my fault? What have I done wrong?
Okay.
and then work from there. And if that person has texted that client twice a week and they're still not checking in, then you've done, in my opinion, you've done what you can. It's just then trying to dig a bit deeper and go, right, well, why is this a big problem? What is it about the check-in process that you don't like doing, takes too long? How can I make it easier? What day would work better for you? I said to one of my clients, I moved a few of my check-in days around, and she said, unfortunately, I won't be able to get my check-in in for you on that day. And I said, look, do it on, what day can you do it on? And she was like, oh, Sunday night or Monday would be good for me. And I was like, you do it then. I'll get back to you on Wednesday. I was like, because that's when I do my check-ins. But I was like, just know there'll be a bit of a delay in it, but that's fine. Because the phase she's in right now, it's not hugely important. And she also understands the process. It's not, nothing crazy going to happen in a day. She'll still need the same help on Monday as she done on Tuesday. So it's, again, understanding that process where, again, communication, letting people know, well, okay, how can I make this easier for you? Not, this is my schedule, you work to it. Go, well, how can I make it easier for you? This is my schedule, but how can I make it easier for you? How can we have a communication so that we both get what we want out of this?
It's an interesting one as well, because she also did all of her normal. So this person also did all of her like normal check-ins on a Saturday as well. And I was like, so you expect all your clients to check in on a Saturday? And I was like,
she got back to her clients on Saturday.
I believe so, yeah. Or like wanted calls and stuff in it on their clients should get back to her as well on a Saturday. And I was like, Saturday? I was like, people with the families, the people want to do, you're never going to get it. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that.
That's why she's not doing it. I'd say like
But it was interesting as well. But Luke, because obviously Luke was on the call as well. Luke used to do his on a Saturday. And I was like,
yeah. So I think there's a lot of people I know get their clients to check in on a Sunday. Which I think is daft, personally, for the main reason of you get this mentality of starting again on Monday every time. Like starting.
Which is what I went to talk about. I was like, oh, but it doesn't have to start on Monday. I was like, you might start your training on Tuesday. It's fine.
I do mine. For me because it fits better anyway. I do mine on Wednesday, Thursday. I do a couple on a Friday. But the reason that I do that is twofold. One is to stop the whole. Week starts again on Monday, like, diets always start on Mondays, all this sort of stuff. And two is so that I can plan for the weekend for clients. So when we have our update, I can go, right, here's a plan of action for the weekend. And it's fresh in their mind because I'm like, right, well, it's tomorrow for some of them, depends on what day it is. It's Friday, Saturday, you're right there. So you know the plan of action for the weekend. And you also get to see some of the weight that you often see go on from water retention, whatever, salt over the weekend starts to deplete by Wednesday, Thursday. So you can kind of look at it, okay, cool, we know where we're at, no need to panic. It's been loads easier for me to get all my client check-ins done on Monday, Tuesday, and then have the rest of the week just to chill out or like do whatever I need to do. It's more frustrating for me having like Monday, Tuesday, and then having another day, Friday, to do my other stuff, and then Wednesday, Thursday. But I think it's the best time for the clients because people as well during the week get in routines. So if you say your check-ins are Tuesday night, that's when they'll check in because they can get in that routine. Weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, who knows what's going on? No one knows. That's their time off. It's a time to enjoy. That's just my preference for doing it and how I do it. I just think if clients checking on Sundays, it's just, I don't know. I just think it reinforces that whole week starts Monday, we'll start fresh. It's like, that's what a lot of people's problem with their diet and training is that they need the most help, in my opinion, around the weekends. So if you check in with them on Monday, they don't hear from you again for a week. They might have forgotten by Friday, Saturday. I don't worry about it. I'll sort it out on Monday. Whereas if they've just spoke to you Wednesday, Thursday, and you're texting them back, because some of them as well, after your check-in, they'll text you after your check-in. Thanks for checking, just question about this, or just checking that. I might reply to them the day after that. So it's Friday. All of a sudden it's the weekend, and then they freshen their mind. They're like, okay, cool, that's the plan. That's cool. We'll do that. Because that's the time most people fuck up. It's the weekend. So that's when I'd like to be in their minds, as it were. With that sort of stuff, but each their own, I suppose.
There's a perspective, yeah. So I was just like, Saturdays for me is a no-go. I'm like, I'd rather them do it during the working week whilst they're doing like administration tasks and stuff like that. So that's when I would do it. I would rather do that, my check-in on work time, that kind of thing, not on home time, if I could. There's a way of doing it. So, which I'm sure your clients are the same. You kind of want to be paid for doing it as well. So it just makes sense to me. Like, I'll just do this like on the Tuesday, like get it all done, and then I'll check in the next day, or like have the afternoon or whatever for calls throughout the Wednesday, Thursday? Because you do that, right? They kind of send their stuff over either like Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, so basically, because it's all done on Google Sheets, I just say to them that if they want, they can update it daily because it's just then saved automatically. You don't have to worry about sending anything. It's like it's all there. Like you just 2 minutes a day, just fill your data in, nice and easy. And then the check-in is, like I said, either a video or a phone call or a voice note or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Explaining the data effectively and going over, right, this is what happened. This is this. I need help with this week. This is the problem. Just so that it's super easy. That's the way it should be. Super easy.
Super easy. Lovely. All right. So we're gonna round this off by Dan got triggered by my post.
I didn't get triggered by it, mate. I liked it. It was a good post.
I know. Yeah, what did I write? Let's get out.
What did you write, mate? The words of wisdom. You should remember.
Yeah. Well, I wrote training should be enjoyable. Sure. But it also should be fucking hard work sometimes. And people don't like hard work. So good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't triggered by someone. I think this was twofold for me. Because it resonated back in my mind about, obviously I have clients and I train trainers, right? And sometimes I have trainers as clients. Lovely. So I get caught in this like in between of educating and try and coach people through better business and better like training protocols and all this kind of stuff. And then I actually have to get general population like fitter. And both apply to this crap. Okay. And I got annoyed. Number one was one of my clients was complaining about having like a 140 heart rate for like a minimal amount of time. I'm like, this is why you yo-yo. I'm like, fucking hell, it's fine. And I was just like, for fuck's sake, look at my heart rate. I need rest. I'm like, you don't. I'm purposely giving you stuff so your heart rate stays high. I want it to stay high. That's the whole point. Okay, so that was trigger number one. Trigger number two was a while back. I actually did a post, or we might have talked about it, Mr. Daniel. I talked about what is the most important thing about programming. And I said exercise selection.
Yeah.
Nearly all of the trainers, I'm going to say a large majority, 60 to 70% of the trainers that replied to my post, and there was quite a lot, said the client should enjoy the session. Enjoyment should be the program. I was just like, what? I was like, I get there should be a buy-in and coming through that for a bit, but I'm like, does enjoyment doesn't normally mean hard work.
I think what they meant by that is that the client shouldn't absolutely detest walking through the door. There's a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah,
there's
and I'm like, they should. No, love all my clients to bits, but they don't enjoy every part of my session, hands down. Like, because I'm going to make them do shit that's hard, and they'll enjoy the afterwards, but doing it, they think it sucks ass. And they're like, I want to stop. This is awful. Like, this is painful, if anything. I'm like, yeah, because guess what? That's what we're training for. That's what actually happens. We have to put enough stimulus into our muscle to create a response. That's what happens. You put enough stimulus into work to create a response to get clients. It's like, all right, if we just gently, I can do 1,000 reps with 1 kilos. I'm going to get no results. All right.
Yeah.
Fine. It's not hard. So don't really understand. That was annoying for me. But I realized this is going to be sound like really bad, because one of my other clients today, he obviously saw my post. So he follows me on Instagram, and he was like, did you get triggered by someone? And I was like, it wasn't you, don't worry. And then he was like, yeah, it goes. And he was like, I can kind of resonate. So he did incredibly well in some business, right? He's already retired, and he's like just 48. And he's like, yeah, kind of goes hand in hand with the new kind of, and I get we obviously need to talk about mental health more, but it's more about that kind of enjoyment of all life and being a little bit wishy-washy with stuff, and going away. Oh, you shouldn't have to have hard work if you don't want it, or you can look like that if you really want to, all that kind of body positivity stuff. He was like, it goes hand in hand with that, where you could be like, I should be able to do the training but not have to work hard. I'm like, okay, cool, but you won't get the result that you want. Like that's a fact. So it just that just won't happen. Very strange. And I saw Mike's post about intuitive eating as well, right? Because I think he's been triggered a little bit by the intuitive eating culture that's obviously come to a massive fruition right now, which, don't get me wrong, is I totally, like, me and Dan can intuitively eat. We can. Not everybody should, because they haven't gone through the process of getting educated about it yet.
It's the same. It's the same thing in every single thing in fitness, and it's that if you're smart, you understand and appreciate that it's never black and white. But the problem in fitness is it swings from one pendulum to the other. It's either track every single morsel of food or do whatever the fuck you want and love yourself. And it's the same with this. It's either you enjoy the whole session, every single moment of it, don't hate a minute of it, or you hate it completely. And it's the biggest problem in everything to do with fitness, everything to do with it. And like that guy said, in business as well, to a certain degree, you get this people who are all about the hustle and the grind. I work 90 hours a week. I never sleep. It's probably not smart. But likewise, don't do the bare minimum and expect to get by. Like, and this is you can't talk about this at the moment because you get cancelled, not cancelled, but you get the shit from both sides then, because you're in the middle. But the reality is, all the good shit that I've ever done with fitness, life, business, whatever, it's because I sit pretty much sat back in the middle, knowing exactly that it's both. I'm a mindful eater. I've lost weight the last 6 weeks, mindful eating. I can do it. I know exactly what I'm doing. I get pretty much 95% of my clients from day one tracking their food. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean I'm a mindful eater, or does that mean that I track all my food? Does it mean that one's bad or one's good? No, it means that there's a process to go through, and you have to understand the gray area, and you have to understand where each person you meet fits into that gray area when you meet them, and move them along that gray area to the point that they want to be in. Some people could work ridiculously hard for long periods of time on their business and never burn out. Some people could do loads and loads of work for 2 weeks and get burnt out. And it's just that whole culture at the moment of people and life. And you can't say work harder because then someone's mental health is going to suffer. No, I'm not talking to that person. I'm talking to the majority of people who it's going to help. Likewise, I'm not going to tell everyone to sit and meditate and journal because it's fucking pointless for some people. But that doesn't mean that I'm saying it's pointless. It's pointless for some people. And it's this whole problem that people get so offended. And me and Mike talked about this today. That's why I'm annoyed, is because he talked about the mindful eating, intuitive eating stuff. And apparently some people have got hold of it in the intuitive eating crowd and in their closed little group and were bitching about it. And my point is that shows me they are not smart enough to understand that there's more to life than their way of doing things. It means that they've taken it as a personal attack because in their echo chamber, they can't and don't have the understanding, intelligence, and knowledge to know that you can market to a different market than the one you're in. It baffles me. Like, I don't market myself as someone who works with people with diabetes or obesity. Not my bag, not my speciality. But that doesn't mean that I then have to go on every single bit of content. Oh, this applies to these people. If you are X, Y, Z, or this, and this isn't for you. You don't say that. The whole point of marketing is that you put your message out there and people who don't agree with it don't follow you. Simple. And it's the same thing in fitness. And it's the same thing. Yes, you can mindfully eat. You don't have to be a mindful eater. You don't have to like categorize yourself as that. And that's the problem in fitness. Everyone wants to be in a fucking camp. Everyone wants to be in a section of people. They want to identify certain things. And by doing so, they then think that everyone's attacking them if they disagree with that message. And that's the biggest problem, is it's people that are not smart enough, in my opinion, to see outside of their own bubble and to see that there's more to life than their way of doing things. So I can comfortably understand why there's mindful eating coaches, intuitive eating coaches. I get it. 100% I understand that. 100% believe that there are people who need that. But then when you hear the narrative from that side of the argument, which is people shouldn't be tracking, or anyone who slags off mindful eating or intuitive eating is a shit coach, incorrect. You're a shit coach or have a shit understanding of how this stuff works for everyday people. That's what annoys me, is I understand why bodybuilding coaches do what they do. I don't do it with my clients. I know why they do it for bodybuilders. But this is the problem, is that you're either in one camp or another, And if you're in neither camp, you're attacked from all angles, from people again who aren't smart enough to see your way of doing things and understand that you're actually smart enough to see the benefits of all of those things and put them all together. But that's fitness, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It's fitness. People think I bash bodybuilding too much, apparently. But I'm like, I still do some of it. It's fine. But it's not my market.
Exactly. But no one that you train needs to bodybuild, and none of the trainers that you train to be trainers train bodybuilders.
No,
so yes, and you know what? If someone came to you and said, "Tom, I'm looking to be a bodybuilding coach. Can you help me with my training selection?" No, I can't. Go to someone else.
I give it a good go. But like, there are better people than me. Like, I don't.
They wouldn't ask you. They wouldn't ask you. No offense, they wouldn't ask you because you're smart enough to put out the content you want to put out. That means that people won't ask you that question, and that's what frustrates me with all this sort of stuff. Is it's like, it's just those echo chambers that exist, and people when they're in them, and they get entrenched in them, they don't understand anyone else's viewpoint.
It's all right, Dan. It's all right. We've gone off topic from my post. Jesus Christ.
We have, but I had to get off my chest because it annoyed me.
But the hard work thing is like it was more of a case of just the hard work in sessions. If I'm really honest, hard work from clients, not trying to put it in. Don't get me wrong, like it happens literally to everybody, and it definitely happened to me where I've been like, fuck this. I'm not working hard today. I'm gonna just go through the motions. And just not done it. And I'm like, I'll bail out on something. But I understand I'm not going to get the result that I want. And I've had clients who are like, oh, when am I going to start seeing results of it? When we start working hard, we're not there yet. Like we're just
What you eating 3 days before you come here?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Oh, I'm lost any weight. Well, okay. Correct. I was like, well, I can't just literally take it out of your hand. Like, and it's more in session for me, obviously, because I see him like, oh yeah, I've still got this niggly bit. So I did an O'Neill's assessment. We figured out it's probably your anterior delt that's a little bit flared up, and we probably need to loosen that guy up with some like basic pec stretching. I asked you that like once a day. Have you done that? No. Oh well. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen then. It'll go away, maybe by magic, possibly, but I don't know. So it's that kind of issue. It's just like, all right, help you to help yourself, kind of thing. Like, yeah, let's just do that. Just and especially, I think it's more in the kind of definitely the strength bit. There are some clients who literally go for it, like they're absolutely great, and they're going to grind and try and do it. Whereas there's some who are like, this is heavy. I'm like, oh. It is, but so I'm going to hurt my back. You're not. I'm going to hurt your back. No. Like, even if you do, any kind of, and that's the whole sensitivity towards pain kind of scenario as well. It's like, I'm like, yeah, you're not, it's not hurt. It's sensitive. Like, and that's, we have to stop being a bit of a flower if we want to listen to it. Trust me.
A bit of a flower. It's a nice way of putting it, isn't it?
So I realize it's not the most PC thing, but it's just those they become frustrating, and they're like, all right, well, for the best will of the world, and we all have clients who do not make the progress that they want to see, and we know that we can get, but they will never get there because of their work ethic, and it just happens. So, and just worth saying to them every now and again, and be blunt. You're like, well, I don't think you've worked hard enough, so we're not there yet. Literally, be crystal clear with them. No, and I realize it's an awful situation to be in. I think it takes balls to talk about that, but it'll be interesting. Just take some guts, take some confidence, and they'll respect you for it because they're paying you as the person who should know, right? So, and I think it's an awkward conversation. Definitely is. They'll be like, well, I'll be like, I've called it out before. And I'm like, I think you're lying. I'm sure you have. I was like, I don't believe that's what you've eaten. Like, otherwise the science isn't correct. Or like, I don't believe you've done that session. Otherwise we wouldn't be here like this.
I've had that many a time. Like many a time. Had that similar discussion. Like it's
But that was what that post was about. And it seemed to resonate with a fair few trainers. So I'm saying it's definitely in the industry. We get it in all walks of life, don't we? want something for nothing.
Mm.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
little rant, Daniel. All right.
I do like a rant.
Lovely. Love a rant. Oh yeah, there was one question I wrote at the top of the podcast I wanted to ask you. I was scrolling through Reddit. I thought it was quite funny, and I wanted to get your opinion. Should have done this at the start. I wrote it for the start. So kind of like so this question: if all animals were horse-sized, who would win in a big fight? Who would be last man standing if all animals were horse-sized? I'm gonna go put this on my Instagram as well.
What, as in they're all, but hang on, can they all?
They're all horse-sized,
but they are their own. They are their own shape though. They're not all horse. Like they're not all got.
They're not all turned into horses, no.
Okay, right. Okay.
They're all the size of a horse. So like,
where are they fighting? Where are they fighting on land?
Like, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah, because you're like whale on land, probably not good. And they've lost their size
I'm thinking
anyway.
shark.
So.
I'm thinking great white shark because of the amount of those teeth that are in there. But it's just going to be like flopping on the floor.
But it's also
horse
size,
on the floor,
right?
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
it's
that's
also gotten smaller, isn't it? It normally be bigger.
That's what I'm asking you about the whole, like, if it's a horse, because if it's got a horse's head shape, then yeah, the mouth's going to be tiny. So I wouldn't pick one.
No, horse size, not horse shaped.
Yeah, but a great white shark probably is horse sized. It's kind of, that's big-ish, like 6 foot.
It's got to be bigger than a horse, mate. It's got to be bigger
6
than a
foot
horse.
great white shark.
Great white shark is bigger.
What are we doing? Are you doing dimensions like computers, diagonal? Because I reckon that would be about similar. From the nose of a horse to the tail of it, I reckon 6 foot. Easy 6 foot.
Easy 6 foot. Longer, mate. Longer. Far longer.
So therefore you can fit a great white shark into that.
A small great white, surely.
Not that I've been thinking about it too long. Not that I've been thinking about it too long or anything. Yeah, great white shark's about that big. What are you on about, mate? Easy. Great white shark length.
15 to 16 feet long.
They grow to an average, so you get smaller ones, mate.
Okay. Okay,
all
so
right.
we'll give.
I still don't think. All right, even if it's horse sized, I still don't think it's much smaller. Like, as in, like, it would put it that much of a disadvantage. Do you know?
How big is a normal horse? I hate that they do it in hands. Average height of a horse is about that's how they measure it, isn't it? So average height of a horse is 15.2 hands. Great, around 5 foot. That's the average height of a horse. Apparently, I swear they're bigger than that. Like where their head is classified as a horse. But you get that thing. You get how tall is a horse, that kind of thing. 1.4 to 1.8 meters tall. And then how long is it? Something like that. Right. So you get what I mean. So the thing is, right, it could be like, I think I'm going to go for bug, but then I don't know whether it's going to be like, is it going to be
bug?
Like an army ant or something like that?
Oh, you're thinking about it too much now, mate.
You're going great white. It's going to get smaller. I think you've got to split it into land and sea, right?
Yeah, I guess. I think this requires some good thought. I can't.
We'll come back next week or at some point to do it. Find out on Instagram what wins more than anything else, because I've listened to this a vague like discussion like this before, as about the NFL mascots. You could do it with basketball ones as well. If all of them fought each other, who would win?
No clue.
Like a jet. Would a jet would beat a falcon? Like that would win, or stuff like that. An eagle, and then you've got like a titan. A titan would probably beat a jet because like a titan's a god.
I feel like you spent too long thinking about it. I'm honest.
But yeah, I'm gonna go for like army ant or wasp. Wasp could fly, but I feel that it's too squidgy in it. Army ant would get like reinforced. Something like that. Big ant. They're strong as well, aren't they? They're strong.
I don't know, mate. I've never seen the Ant Olympics. I wouldn't know. Are they?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, they're well strong. They can carry like those like big leaves and stuff.
Those big leaves that are really heavy. Yeah.
Well, relative to their body weight, but now they're
right. You just heard it. You just heard it on here first, guys. Tom thinks leaves are heavy, so therefore he's weak. So it's all good.
We'll come back to it. We'll ask this question through Instagram straight after this podcast. Straight after recording, it'll be online before the Instagram. And we'll find out. So I'm going for some sort of insect because like insects are disgusting. Hate insects, FYI, and just can't see anything else. It's not going to be like domesticated cat, is it? Like big cat?
Oh no, obviously not.
Or like human. If we're as big as it's just like that's just like large human.
I still think a bear would take a fucking hell of a beating, wouldn't it?
Bear would, yeah. And that like some of them would be bigger, wouldn't they?
True.
A horse would be, because like black bears are quite small, but grizzlies, big. Polar's bigger than a horse, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, obviously, my understanding of size has gone out the window with the great.
You've decided to just get a tiny shark.
Yeah.
Cool.
I still think in the water they're going to win.
They might do, but then you might be like, all right, but then you could be like a lobster, the size of a horse, could just chop. Would they not just chop the shark in half?
There's too much to think about, mate.
If a lobster, or a crab, there was just that size, right? Or like a octopus, an octopus that size would fuck up a shark, would it not?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Like its tentacles, bam, 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 bam.
No, I think the shark would eat them. The tentacles
this guy
off. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, mate. I'm just
interesting, isn't it?
Hugely
interesting.
Riveting.
Anyway, that's what you came for. Work hard and decide what is the most ferocious horse-sized animal. Any other business, Daniel? I guess we won't have a show next week because we'll find out. I'm sure there will be a Biceps and Banter podcast next week, so you can
probably be a live one. Probably, we'll be live. Yeah, we've got Blitz is launching as well. So if you're interested in our 8-week fat loss coaching program, drop me a DM on Instagram if you want more info, or you can join the waiting list. Emails go out next Monday. How to secure your spot for that. So, kickstart your fat loss now that everyone's back in a routine.
Yeah, PT Core is actually onboarding right now as you listen to this in your ear holes.
Boom.
So, do it. We will be switching some stuff up. Obviously, it is the first lot is 1.0, so it is now better already, and we'll be continually adding stuff as we go. So get it whilst it's still cheap, as it's still just going to get pricier and pricier. But yeah, if you're newly qualified or in the first 2 years of your business, then crack on.
Get on it.
Yeah, get on it.
Definitely.
We're definitely changing how we do our support, which is obviously great. It's something we couldn't do as much in the first cohort because me and Luke still had a lot of filming and writing and stuff to do. So unfortunately, but now we're freed up, so we get more of us. So we're actually thinking about having tutor time scattered through the weeks as well, that you can actually book in to, unfortunately, talk to me. So yeah, that'd
probably
be
worthwhile.
Boring with you. We'll for once and for all, I will ask every single one of them the horse-sized animal question. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next week.
See ya.